All right, in this video, we're not going to go over anything new, but I wanted to spend some time showing you some questions that are a little bit more complicated. Okay, the idea being that I want you to notice that the steps are not necessarily more challenging, but there are more steps to the actual equation. And the actual steps what we're doing are the same basics as we've been doing. Okay, so for example, if I were to give you an equation that looked like this, let's say we started off with 2 parentheses, 1 minus x plus 3 equals -8. Okay. Now, at first glance, that looks like it's super complicated, but you should be familiar with like the smaller steps in between of how to get rid of things and what should stand out and like distribution and all the other stuff we've been working on recently. Okay. So in this question, there's actually 2 different ways you could start. Um, in previous videos, I've been saying like you can start off with that distribution of that 2. Okay, I'm actually going to show you another way you could start this question. You could start this question by actually getting rid of that 3. Okay, because it's not part of that parentheses, it's its own thing. We could, if you wanted to, get rid of that first. So subtract 3 from both sides, and then bring down the leftovers. -8 minus 3. Again, use calculators if you need to. No big deal there. And you would get -11. So that's one way you could have started this question. Now, off to the side over here, you could have also started it this way. Let me write the question. Okay, you could have also started with the distribution, right? You could have gone 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times -x is -2x, and then bring down the leftovers that we haven't used yet. The only difference is in this one, from here you then have to combine like terms. So there's actually multiple ways you could start these equations. It's kind of your choice. Okay, so let's go back to our main one over here with the red, and let's keep going. So because we moved that 3 first, now I have to take care of that distribution. So now I have to multiply this out. Okay, 2 times 1 gives you 2. 2 times -x gives you -2x. And then we still have -11 over here. All right. And then now we have to get rid of that 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and subtract that away. It's positive, so we're going to subtract it. Okay, they cancel out. And now we have -2x is equal to -11 minus 2, -13. Okay, and last step, we have to get rid of that -2. It's attached, right? Whenever it's attached like that, remember you have to divide. Divide by -2, both sides. So we're left with -13 over -2. Now this is something else I wanted to bring up briefly. Don't forget that the negatives cancel each other out. Okay, so we do get x is equal to 13 over 2. Now, for this class, typically you can leave your answers as fractions. If you really wanted to, you could change it to a decimal. That'd be acceptable for now as well. But I wanted to show you that just because you're getting a fraction answer doesn't mean you're getting it wrong. Okay. Now, a lot of the times on quizzes, I'll try to make sure it works out to be a whole number answer. But sometimes you will run into fractions. So I just want to make sure you are aware of that. Okay. So again, looking at the question, the steps themselves, not necessarily difficult, but the key is making sure you know like what to do in each given scenario, right? Do I distribute? Do I subtract? Do I add? Do I multiply? That's the key to these questions, along with staying organized. Okay. I actually want you guys to try one, and then we're gonna do a few more afterwards. Okay. So I would like you guys to go ahead and try. Gotta move some stuff up. I want you to try a similar question. Okay. Unlike previous videos, we're gonna do some more after this, so don't stop after this question. All right. So I want you guys to try 5h plus 2 parentheses 11 minus h equals -5. Okay? And I do want you guys to legitimately try it. So go ahead and pause the video, try it, and then come back and press play, and we'll keep on going. All right, so again, hopefully you've paused the video and you tried it. If not, I highly encourage you to try it, pause the video, and see what you can get out. Okay. But if you did it correctly in this question, we can distribute. Okay. And 2 times 11 gives you 22. 2 times -h, -2h. Bringing down all the pieces we did not use. So we still have that 5h, and we still have that -5. Now in this question, unlike the previous one, we actually can combine our h's. Okay, so even though they're not next to each other, we can still combine 5h minus 2h. Okay, so 5 minus 2 gives you 3h. Bring down the other pieces. So plus 22, -5. Okay, now we're down to a two-step equation. So we can get rid of that 22. It's positive, so we'll subtract. Okay, leftovers, we have 3h. -5 minus 22 gives you -27. And last but not least, get rid of that 3 by dividing. Okay, this one works out nicely. H is equal to -9. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do one more together, and then I want you to try one more on your own. Okay, so we'll go ahead and scroll up. Let's do one more together. All right. Now this one is gonna, as soon as you see it, it's gonna look very complicated. But again, if you just take it one small piece at a time, they're really not too bad. Okay, so let's go and write it down. 5 parentheses x plus 9 minus 2 parentheses 1 minus x equals 1. All right. So the thing that should stand out is that you have two separate distributions. Okay. You have the one with the 5, and you have the one with the -2. So if there's two distributions going on, you have to do both separately, right? Do one thing at a time. So let's go ahead and distribute that 5. Okay, 5 times x gives you 5x. 5 times 9 gives you 45. Now let's go ahead and do the second distribution. Again, that negative belongs with the 2, so make sure you distribute the entire piece. -2 times 1 gives you -2. And notice I'm just going to keep it in the same line as the previous one. It's in that same line as the 5x and the 45. So -2, and then -2 times -x. Remember, negative times negative is positive, and 2 times x would give you 2x. And then bring down that 1 on the other side. Now what we can do is we can combine like terms before moving on, right? Remember, x's go with x's, numbers go with numbers. And if they're on the same side of the equation, which they are, everything's on the left-hand side except for that 1, we can combine them as they are. What I mean by that is, let's combine 5x and 2x. Okay, so 5x and 2x make 7x. Again, they're on the same side, so we don't need to do opposites. Only do opposites when you go from one side to the other side. And then we can do the same thing with the numbers. So let's combine 45 minus 2. Okay, so 45 minus 2 is 43. And we still have that 1 on the other side, so don't forget about it. Remember, that's why I always draw that line so we can see left side and right side. And now we're down to a two-step equation. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of that 43. It's positive, so let's subtract it away. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. Again, I'm doing opposites because I'm moving it to the other side. So those cancel out, and we get 7x by itself. 1 minus 43 gives you -42. And last step, you can get rid of that 7 by dividing. Okay, and we get our answer, x is equal to negative 42 divided by 7, works out nicely again, and we get negative 6. So again, the actual individual steps, not too bad. It's just very intimidating to get started with at the beginning. Okay. All right, I want you to do one more on your own, and then you can check your answer, and then we'll be done with this video. Okay. All right, the one I want you to try on your own. Let's go and write it out. Negative 3 parentheses 3 plus x plus 4 parentheses x minus 6 equals negative 4. Okay. Again, I do want you guys to be pausing the video and trying the question. Don't be afraid to get it wrong, because that's how you're gonna learn. You'll learn from your mistakes. This one, if you do it correctly, you should get a whole number answers. No fraction or no decimals for this one. Okay. All right. So go ahead and pause the video at this point. Try it out, and then when you're ready to check it, go ahead and press play.